Alright, T-Rex82 here. Welcome back to another Empyrion Galactic Creators Studio update. We have a lot to go over today. I've been a busy man as of lately. Really trying to round out this Tyche line. So I'm in a good state, I think, at the moment. We have a lot to do, so let's take a look and kind of jump right in. Everything you see here in front of you is going to be on the workshop, if not already. Links will be down in the description, so please go ahead and check those out. Also, if you like what you see, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. You don't miss out on any future content that way. It's very important. And also, one last thing, thank you to my Patreons. Your support has been very welcome, and it's helping me go a long ways as far as the 3D printing is concerned. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing that you see in front of you is we finally have a base, and I am planning on turning this into a POI at some point once I figure all that out. I've actually never done it before, but I do think it would be a pretty good one, and you'll see why later on, and I'll explain everything as far as my design technique for that and what I was really hoping to achieve. But let's go ahead and start out over here first with these. So the first thing you're going to see here on your left hand side is going to be the first of a Tyche SV fighter. I am calling this the Pan, simply because to me it kind of looks a little bit like the idea of the Pan from Greek mythology. It's got the two horns on the top, and it just looks like a ram to me, or something like that. So I kind of went with that. So it does have currently 6 Gatling guns. Obviously, you can put whatever you want in there. The storage is not a ton. It does not have a whole lot of it. Let's go ahead and take a look. We've got a total of 4,000 as far as the volume is concerned on that. It does have a shield, which is kind of tucked in back here, right there. And you've got just a small amount of storage for the weapons. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. We've got about 375. So you don't need a ton. This is just kind of your first fighter. This is not something that you're going to be taking into late game, anything like that. So it's just to kind of to round out the line a little bit in that. So I liked the way it styled out. I was trying something new, really trying to build vertically and see where it would go with that. And I don't know, I kind of like it. It's a different style from what I'm used to doing. Next to that, you have what the first one actually evolved into, and this is going to be the first SV miner that I have completed, and this is called the Echo. This is a full interior as well. We've got, as you can see, the same sort of styling. That's the benefit of copy paste. It can really help you maintain a similar style to what you were doing before. We have much more cargo capacity on here. Everything is pretty well laid out inside. There we go. As you can see, you got all the basic necessities that you need. I even threw in a constructor in there as well. But we're looking at a volume of 12,600, which I think is plenty for an SV miner. I added in some windows. I wanted this to feel a little more open than I typically do on these smaller vessels. I always feel so constrained and slightly claustrophobic, but I think I achieved it a little bit on this one. So you've got fuel tanks on both sides over here, thrusters. Things you want to check out for is just where you're standing. Make sure you're not standing there at all times. When you're in the actual seat, it does not bother you. It is no issue whatsoever. But yeah, this is completely sealed and ready to go. So that is the Echo. I like the way that turned out as well. This is already up on the workshop. This is not very popular, and I'm surprised. This is a starting HV. This is what I use in all of my playthroughs. It is efficient. It's cheap as hell. It does what you need it to do. It turns on a dime. You have access to your O2 tanks on the outside if you need them, depending on whatever planet you start on. And the inside is pretty well laid out as well. You've got your clone chamber in there. You've got a place to do an extension so that you can actually add in weapons and things of that sort. You have a decent amount of cargo, 6,000. not too bad. So what I usually do is I use this as a starting miner vessel. So I'll go to an ore deposit and I'll stay right in here, and I'll open the drone hatch and kind of just jump up, pop my drone out, and then I'll go mining that way. You've got an armor locker, you've got your fridge, so it's got everything you need. Down on the floor you do have a constructor as well, wireless. This A back here refers to where you could put in ammo storage. So if you do drop weapons on here, you could replace those 4 blocks with the ammo extension containers and throw that in there. So that'll give you quite a bit of ammo capacity for what it is worth. So yeah, nice little starter vessel. I use it all the time. I highly recommend you take a look and see what you can do with it. So behind me, over here, this is the first attempt I've made at making a sentry tower. So this is a defense tower for the Tyche line. It's marked north, south, east, west, so you can place it if you like to in orientation for a quick little glance to see which direction you want to be going in. It's got the typical, it's got all the pipes and all the usual things I throw in all my builds to kind of hide away and give it a little bit of depth and make it a little bit nicer. Yeah, central tower on the inside doesn't really do anything other than just look cool. All of the bells and whistles are kind of down in the base. And if I can get in there, so you've got fuel tanks down here, you've got ammo storage, wireless controller. Yeah, basically all you need for this to actually operate. And it will operate for quite a long time on a full load. So there is that. So that will be on the workshop as well. I will be, again, releasing all of these later today. I do have quite a bit of work as far as doing all the screenshots and info panels and everything else as far as that is concerned. So here is the 153D and with J. Randall's miner attached to it. I love the way that turned out. I think they coincide very well together and they look absolutely epic. Now, all right, so over here we have the Atlas. This was one of my very first builds early on. This was a battle tank that I had made, not for the Tyche line. I did make this separately, and I've kind of reincorporated it in and folded it into the Tyche line. So yeah, added a few more weapons to it, a few more turrets like it needs anymore, but this is hard as hell. This is a rock. This thing will take you where you need to go and destroy everything in sight. It's got passenger capacity, so you could take a total of 8 people with you if you were playing on a multiplayer server. It's still got its drone hatch up there, and all the bells and whistles are kind of tucked away in the back behind the safety of all of those blocks, which are armored. Are they hardened steel? I think they're hardened steel. I don't know. They are the top, the best you can get. But you've got a clone chamber in here. You've got all your O2 tanks. You have a med station, 2 armor lockers, a ton of storage here. You've got your generators, your O2 chamber over there. Whole lot of constructors. Why? I don't know. Because maybe you want to construct 4 freaking things at once. Beats the hell out of me. You got a shield up top. You have all of your accoutrement back here. You've got your refrigerators. Pentaxid tank in the center. I believe this is the ammo, so it's got 875. Is that right? Hold on. Yeah, I think that's right. You should be able to hold quite a bit as far as what you need. 875 on that, and you have 32,000, of course, in the container. So this thing can rip down any POI that you want to salvage and haul it back to wherever you need it to go. So it's a great little machine. I say little. Let me rephrase. It's a great giant machine that'll take you where you need to go and destroy any POI that you need to take on. All right. So that brings us to the actual base. So this is a unlock level 7. I repeat, an unlock level 7 base. I do have a variant of this, which is full-on unlock level 20. But I needed this for my playthrough, so I decided to make this. And so this is the Tyche Central Operations. And again, this is an unlock level 7. And I wanted to make this as industrial as possible, but also make it... how do I say? I wanted this to kind of fold in. I want it to evolve as you get into the base. So what I mean by that is exactly this. So let's go ahead and head through the front door here. And once you enter through the front door, you're greeted with this. And I wanted this top floor to feel welcoming, kind of like you would if you were to go to an industrial site or something like that, or a big corporation, and have that front area just feel welcome and feel a little bit more modern, light, airy, that kind of thing. So I went ahead and went with the white on this. And you can, if you want to, use the gold. You can throw in a receptionist there and do whatever you want to do. Just for cost's sake, I did not do that, but I will probably do that on the POI as well. Now, this is where it gets a little weird. So we've got the medical on this side. All the room you need over here for medical supplies, for all the stations, minus the medical hab, or the clone chamber, if you want to call it that. That will actually go into another room, which I will show you shortly. But yeah, so there's your medical station. On this side, you have a place for a gravity generator. So you can go ahead and throw that in there as well. O2 tanks over here. And on the other side, we have the mess hall. So everything you need in here. And I went with a two-tone lighting. I went with, there's a almost like a purplish whitish light that I really love. I love to use it, but it's just not quite bright enough. So I used that in combination with the orange light to kind of give it a warmth and give it a really nice feel. I personally love it. I think it works very well. So that's what you're going to see going forward on a lot of my Tyche line things. But yeah, so we got tables over here. You got all the basic necessities that you need for your kitchen. So everything is done. You got wardrobe. I mean, wish it was called something other than a wardrobe. We'll call it a pantry. There's your pantry. All right. So that brings us to the back of the room. In the back of the room, you're going to find your quarters for living. And again, I wanted this to feel welcoming. So as you walk in, it's going to be warm lighting in here. I haven't put anything on this LCD. I figured I'd leave that up to you guys, whatever you want in there. But yeah, so here is your clone chamber. And I don't know why I did this. It looks good to me. I don't know. I kind of like it. Figured I'd try something new, so I thought it worked out well. So you've got a wardrobe here, your bed, your armor locker over there. You've got both bathrooms and a shower, your television, which doesn't work, but hey, not everything is good quality in this place. So yeah, everything you need in this little room to get you started. Now, like I said, everything up here I wanted to feel a little bit cleaner, but still hold that industrial feel. Now, one thing that is going to help with that is if you look up top here, that is where you're going to put your furnace. And I tell you what, that is a hell of a centerpiece. Once you put that in there, it looks it looks like it's meant to be, and it really ties this place together. So you'll go ahead and put the furnace up there, and it'll look great. Now, as we go deeper into the complex, I wanted this to start really transitioning into the industrial feel. So as you can see, we've got a walkway down here which splits off and goes both directions. And now we're getting into the nit and gritty down here. So we've got our hydroponic station in here, so you can swap out all of these with your grow plots. Over this side and this side, you can put your generators in. Now this is built to be able to handle 4 of the tier 1 generators, so you can swap those in. These E's here refer to the extensions, so you can throw in tier 4 extensions lengthwise on here. I personally like to add them so that the big glowing holes are facing on the inside of this room. It really makes it look pretty dang good. So yeah, so there's your hydroponics room. Grow what you need to grow to survive. Again, it's very early on, very basic. I've done a little work with LCDs, nothing crazy. I'm pretty terrible at it. I'm not like Crazy Z or any of those other great builders who can do it, but it is what it is. But yes, so I wanted this to look so you can really look up, and it's going to be a vertical feel on this base. So everything is really adding in that depth and giving it character down here. In this area over here, you're going to be able to put your repair bay. and a teleporter station. Fuel tanks over here. Yeah. So that is this level in a nutshell. We got little LCDs over here. Ooh, other thing is I did originally have all of these windows as the heavy windows, but not very cost efficient if you want to make this a somewhat starter base. So you can add those back in as you progress and do it that way. Over here we have cargo capacity of 184,000. I know it's not my typical 320,000. It can be expanded. The only reason I do have it this way is because I wanted to keep this as a tier 1. So to expand this, you will just replace these floor blocks in here and tie it all together to give you that 320,000 in there as well. You've got your large constructor here, and over here you can put a deconstructor, a little bit of extra storage, ammo, more fuel tanks, and this is where my design element starts to get a little bit more crazy. Now I wanted you to really feel like you are subterranean, that you wanted to be, that you are down in the depths. So what I've done is I have made sure that I have added in these windows here, so that when you come through and you place this base, you are going to have to go through with a drill, unfortunately, and mine out all of the areas that you want to be uncovered. But if you just drill it out, you're going to start to see all of these windows are going to show you the outside world. So you really start to get it down here once we get into the rocks. It just adds that subterranean feel, and I really, really dig it. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, here's our little stairwell that gets us down to this next room, which is where you're going to find the core area, the shield area. Your pentaxid tank is going to be down here, and this little walkway is my little gem as well. So yes, same thing here. We've got a lot of piping, a lot of things going on in the industrial line, and I wanted to, again, keep it so it feels like it's actually underground. So when you come through here with your drill, it will only drill out to this point. Now, if that's not what you want, have no fear. Access panels. Go in there with your drill, drill it out. There is full textures behind there, which do look pretty dang good if I do say so myself. So yeah, you can absolutely do that. In this area here, we have our ore processing and core room. And of course, all of these lights are set to toggle on and toggle off as you leave certain rooms. So as you can see, we come back down in here. We've got that big grand blue lighting in here. Pentaxid tank will go right there with all the pipes. And again, behind it, you can see rocks and snow and whatever stuff you've got on whatever planet you're on. Same thing on this side. We have our shield generator room. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I think that turned out pretty good. It leads us into our core room. Nothing crazy here, just a tiny little room. Oop, I missed a spot. But yeah, your core is tucked away back here in this little area. Underground, safe, and wonderful. Now, for the final showcase area, that is going to be the hangar bay. Yes, we do have a hangar bay. Boom. Here we are. Tyche Industries hangar bay. This is, believe it or not, big enough to fit the new Tyche variant that we did for J. Randall's miner as well, which is parked above. And I will show you that it is very close when it comes to its fit. It's very, very tight. But yeah, same thing down here. You've got walls in here with glass and showing all the wonderful rock and things like that. So you really feel like you're underground on all sides. Now, so up above, your switch to open that is over here. And of course, I couldn't just go ahead and throw a bunch of those in and then not do any sort of timing. So I had to do a little bit of timing on that instead of delay. But yes, here we go. Boom. All right. Yes, beauteous. Let's go ahead and jump up here. And I'll bring this back down in so you can see how tight this actually is. Now, I did not actually build that hangar with this in mind. Just so happened to barely fit. There we go. All right, we are resting. head on out of here. All right, there we go. So as you can see, we're pretty much brushed up against. You can move it forward or backward just a hair, but not a whole lot. As you can see, that's about it. That is about it. But you can still walk through here. You can still do what you need to do to get around and get inside and do what you want. But yeah, so there she is. This is the forward operations, or the central operations, excuse me, on the Tyche. And we'll go ahead and shut those back up. There we go. And boom, she all fits. Look at that. All right, so we're going to leave it there. And like I said, these will be on the workshop very soon. I just have a bunch of work to do as far as the screenshots and everything else is concerned. But thank you all for joining me. And as always, keep your heads above the hard deck. I will catch you later.